The Zapier editor is pretty easy to use. If I'm gonna make a new Zap, and this is not gonna be a very pointless Zap. I'm just gonna set this up to show you how it works. So in the trigger, pick what you want to start with. I'm gonna say Google Sheets. The first thing it's always gonna ask for is an event. So in this case, I'm gonna say spreadsheet row. Choose account. So if you have accounts, you'll have options here. If you don't have accounts, you'll have a button that says sync new account. Spreadsheet, worksheet, test your trigger, it'll return. Um, you can always say load more. There's only one row on this one. If you add more data, you always need to have some sort of trigger data to work from. And then it's going to come to actions, and this box will pop up for each consecutive step you add in. I'm just going to add this back into a different sheet, a different row on the Google Sheet. And I'm going to say create spreadsheet row, continue, pick account. I'm going to go to the same sheet, just pick a different, or same spreadsheet, different worksheet. So these fields aren't quite right, but no, I don't want to do purchase. I want to do name. We'll do the purchase and the time, and the email address would be email. And so these would obviously correlate to whatever data you're working with. Continue. So now you have three options: test and review, test, continue, or skip test. Skip test will close this box and move to the next step. Test and continue will test this box, close it, move to the next step. Test and review will make the function happen. And then from here, I have the option to retest, turn on, or turn on, or close the box. So I'm going to close it, for example. It's going to take me to this. They change some of these interfaces over time. So if you don't see this or see something different, just don't freak out. And then I'm going to turn it on. Boom. Now that it's on, one of the things it allows me to do is share it. So let's say this was something more valuable than a Google Sheets to Google Sheets, but it was something you wanted to have or I wanted to give you. You can hit share, and then you can just copy this link, send it to a Facebook message, email, whatever, or email, Slack, post on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, whatever. The other thing to look at here is the menu over here on the right. So you have an outline. 2 steps obviously is pretty easy, but if you get into this, some of these 12, 15, 20 step systems you can build with Zapier, having an easy way to reference what's going on is nice to have. You have a very basic guide. It's a very basic how-to, but kind of steps you through things and then get help. So it'll take you to a help page to work on that if needed. Errors. Very commonly, things will just throw errors that aren't really there, and it'll say error on step 2, and you just open it and close it, or open it and click through the steps, and it will fix whatever quote unquote error it was seeing. Just one of those weird buggy things about Zapier I've noticed. Task history or Zap history opens another tab. We'll get into that in another video here in a second, but just wanted to show you it was there. Settings. So you can name your Zap either by clicking over here or by clicking here and say test sheets. Nothing important on this one, but name it something so you know what it is. You can drop it in a different folder. So if I wanted to come down here and say put this in my shares apps, I could do that. And then description. I use this a lot for why it was set up or what other systems it affects. Very often I'll build 3 or 4 zaps in a sequence of some sort, and where they have consecutive things that trigger, some sort of triggering action in the middle, some sort of manual action in the middle. And this way I know kind of what piece of the puzzle this is or what it does or where it's going to go. And then time zone. Primarily, if you're working in your own area, it should do that. But if you ever need to change it to work in a different time zone, or maybe you have a client using your Zapier account, you could change that so that it's affected in their time zone. And then last thing, Zap Details opens another door or another tab. Kind of gives you an overall of what you're dealing with. Um, the description, time zone, last modified, so you can see the last time it was edited. I think if you have a team account, it may even tell you who worked on it last or who owns it. Owned by, I think the owned by will tell you that. And then you're going to task usage. This is going to have 0 usage because it hasn't been run yet, but it would show you a run count, number of tasks used, filter it by time. Zap runs, there haven't been any here, and then record of when it's been edited. So kind of an overview there. I think that's it. Yep, that's it. So that's kind of the editor in a nutshell, and we'll see you in the next video.